Hi everyone and welcome to this MYP Mathematics Category 2 online workshop. My name is Martin Laplante and I'm going to be your facilitator for the duration of that workshop. So first thing you want to do is to log in the Moodle platform, and then you will see either on top, it depends where you're at first. If you are at the homepage of the Moodle platform, then you might come here. Here you might see going down your workshop. If you do that, then what you want to do is to press on this hamburger menu here on your left to make all of the workshops that you attend appear. And here I have the November 21 Mathematics Category 2 workshop. So if I click on it, I am going to be at the homepage of the MYP Mathematics Category 2 workshop. You can also navigate using these like links on top of the pages, but I definitely prefer having my menu here on the left, which I can hide or show whenever I please. So let's start with the homepage. In the homepage, as you might have seen, there is a coffee corner where I want you to introduce yourself. So the way you have to do it, and it has been perfectly done so far by all of the participants that have done it already, is that you click on my post, always click on my post, and then I'm going to put the display in nested forms. There is my post, and then you click on reply, and that will allow you to introduce yourself. So that way, using the display replies in nested forms, we are going to see all of the discussions like chronologically, and you are going to be able to answer each other and in a meaningful manner. So it's going to be easier for me to follow your work and also for you to see what everyone has posted. So if you click on the reply button, what you see is only a text box. There are not any options with it for now. But what I suggest you to do is to click on the Advanced button. When you click on the Advanced button, what you are going to have are options like here to format text, either bold, italic, or perhaps put some color, perhaps create a link, which we can open in a new window. It is always easier. So these are things that we can do, a list, but you can also press the arrow down in order to have some more options. As you can see, like here, to indent the text or to insert an image. And then at the end, oh yes, I almost forgot, you can also add files, either by pressing here and browsing into your directories, or else you just drag and drop them there. And then you click on post to forum, and then I will have your message. So this is the way to post, because most of the work is going to be done using forums, because it is since we are all at different times, it's a workshop that you do like individually, but at the same time, like on the same pace, but not exactly at the same time. What I mean is that there are 4 modules, so you have 1 module per week. Week starts on Wednesday and ends on like I would say Tuesday night. But for me, Tuesday night at GMT -4 and soon -5 is probably for you, for some of you, like on a Wednesday at around noon. So that's perfectly okay. We can adapt. So every week I am going to send you a video to explain what is expected during the module, and also some clues. And then every time you access an activity, you click on my post, you have the information, you can reply and post your work. If you have any questions, you can ask them either in the coffee corner, which is right here, if I go back to the homepage, or perhaps you can also email me. And also the other possibility, which will not be done this weekend, but in the following 3 weekends, is that I'm going to give you options, 2 virtual meeting options, probably 2. It depends on the time zones actually, where you can just come in. It's a big blue button like a virtual platform that you can access in order to have a virtual meeting and ask any questions you want. What I've seen so far is that many of you have questions about assessment, which we may not talk about during the workshop, but that we can talk during the virtual meeting. So I encourage you to come if you have any questions of that sort. So it is. Then the announcements. When I'm going to send you a message every week, you will receive these messages by email, but it is a no reply option. So what you can do is you can look back at all of the announcements using that button. You can also send me a message using the messaging tool here on top right of the screen. And then you can just send me a message, and then I have a notification, and I can also I can also reply to you from there. And this is but when you send a message using the messaging tool, it sends an email. Once again, we cannot reply to it. We have to go back in the platform in order to be able to answer it, which I think. Then the resource library, you are going to see there are all the guides and also some informations. But what I would tell you is that in each activity, I also put the document again within the activity, so you just have to press on it and then it downloads it. So it's much easier than always having to go back to the resource library. So that's the way I usually do things. Then I will click on the home roadmap. Here there is going to, for now it's hidden to you, but I'm going to unhide it today. And then you will be able to just answer a short survey in order to know your background. But then we go in module 1, and now we can start the activities, the learning engagement activities. On each module, what you'll see is that there are the module notes. When you click on it, for now it's perhaps a little bit slow, but there are informations, there are links to videos, there are everything, many things that you need to know. What I could tell you, however, is that sometimes the instructions given here I cannot change. So perhaps I will have given slightly different instructions within my post. So just please follow what I will post instead of what is written there. But the resources are there, and it's pretty interesting. It's like learning at your own pace once again that you can do. So here, let's say I would click on a view on international mailing list. There are links. Once again, some of these links might not work for you, depending on the platform. Perhaps that you have pop-ups, Windows blocks. So just make sure to allow them from that site in order to have access to it. And if ever you do not, what I could tell you is that everything I link also within the activities, like by sharing it as an attachment, so that way everyone is able to see it. What else? So here are webinars. If ever you cannot see them and you want to see them, and remember that you will have access to the online workshop for many months afterwards, let's say 6 months. So if ever there are things that you don't have time to see and that you want to see afterward, you can click here on topic 7 on your left. And here you will have the MYP webinar playlist, which I'm sure that is there. Okay. So it is another opportunity for those who have difficulties to view these videos. And sometimes also, let's say that a video is not available. Sometimes I have other links that I can share to you in order for you to be able to see these videos. Okay, so just reach out if you have any technical difficulties. That might happen, of course, because we're using many different platforms. Sometimes a country just don't allow some sites. So I have to adapt and try to make the best or change a little bit slightly the activity in order for you to be able to do things. So let's go to the learning engagement activities. Now that we have seen the module notes, then we go back, we go to the learning engagement number 1. Once again, I can always come back to module 1, like using the menu on the left. Here, simply you read, and there is no real bad answer to that, while like just thinking about what international mindedness means. So you have to post your own definition and to read at least 2 of the other colleagues, the other participants post in order to comment. Well, actually, you comment 1 definition and 2 applications, but it can be done like at the same time. So you click on my post. You don't add a new topic. You click on my post and then you apply to it. You can see when you click on my post, the document is here as a PDF file, so you can access this if ever the links don't work here. It's the same document. Then I can jump to the second learning engagement activity using that link here on the right, or I can just go back to module 1 and click on learning engagement activity number 2. The second one, once again, is the first module is try to understand the IB philosophy. So I will not comment as much as for the further modules where I will really comment your work on an individual basis. Okay, so at the beginning, your 24 participants, I'm letting you like having a debate about all of these things. So here, once again, you can read, we just want to see in the story, which is linked to the older standards and practices, which are not used starting in January, unless you are beginners, like within the IB. And if you have a verification visit, authorization visit, actually soon, then perhaps they will use the 2014 standards and practices. For all of the others who have evaluation visits, it's going to be starting in January with the 2020 standards and practices. But that doesn't change the philosophy. So here, when you are going to share, you just try to identify elements that are related to the 4 values of IB education. So basically, the aim of that activity is to understand these values, and we'll talk a lot about these during the next few weeks. Trying to make a certain link with international mindedness, even though you'll see that it's not like that clear. So you can try to see if it relates to international mindedness and how it can be perhaps transferred, and also how the values of education can impact your teaching and learning. And that is something which really interests us, because we are going to share many ideas about these. So then going to the third learning engagement activity is to read the 4th standard, which is learning, ensuring an effective education. And there are 4 practices, actually. So within all of these, each of these practice, there are many requirements. So you just read the document. Once again, if you click on my post, you are going to have here, you can just download the program standards and practices. You can read them and just reply for each. You see there are 4 threads already, 1 for each standard. So for each standard, please identify 1 success and 1 question you have about the strand. And also you can reply to the other participants, perhaps to give them ideas once again, or perhaps to answer their questions. So I'm going to read that, because it's always nice to read all of that. And then the last one goes very fast. The learning engagement 4 is just to find an image which represents one of the IB learner profile attributes. And I've done an examples. So you can just click here at the bottom to have the IB learner profile. If I click on it, you'll see it just downloads it. And for me, it opens it. And then you can write 1 sentence, and that's it. So it is really a module to introduce the IB philosophy, and perhaps for those who have been teaching the MYP for a long time, it's just going to refresh you what the IB at the basis is about. Of course, we could add the IB mission statement to that. So this is what is expected throughout the week. You'll see that in my message, I will have linked a spreadsheet, and within that, I will follow your work throughout the week in order to see what you have done. So I wish you a very enjoyable next 4 weeks doing this online workshop with me, and I wish I will meet you one